Hey Teen Wolf lovers, welcome back to the podcast. You of course are now listening to Welcome to Beacon Hill, a Southgate Media Group podcast dedicated to all things Teen Wolf over on MTV. I am Lilith, one of your co-captains, and joining me as always is
Dawn. Nice to have you back, guys, as we discuss episode 512. Won't even try the Latin.
Damnatio in Memoriae. I've been practicing all day.
Otherwise known as, we're going to explain this title halfway through the episode anyway, so don't worry about it.
Yes. In case you're not the kind of Teen Wolf fan who literally just Google stuff for Teen Wolf as soon as you find it. We're going to do something a little different today. We have a ton of Teen Wolf news, and we also are going to do listener feedback first. So, let's get into this news. Crystal Reed is coming back, but not as Allison Argent.
Woohoo! And that's too bad.
No, not really. I actually respect their decision to stick by keeping Allison dead. The Flash, she's going to appear in the flashback episode as one of her ancestors, Marie-Jeanne Vallée, who could maybe possibly be the Beast ?
I think she's going to end up being the one who kills the Beast. I also am glad that they're not bringing Allison back. I don't think that makes any sense at all. But I have no problem with them bringing Allison back as a flashback being actually Allison. That being said, I'm really excited to hear the history of the Argents. We've been waiting for a long time for that. And there's no one better to play a Argent ancestor than, Crystal Reed.
Just thank God it wasn't Kate. No offense to Jill.
Oh, no kidding.
No offense to Jill Wagner. I'm just... I've had enough of it.
Oh, my head is starting to hurt now. Thank you so much.
Oh, we have other Argent business to discuss for this podcast. Don't you worry. Also, in casting news, we have cast another Jill Marini. You might know him from Switched at Birth. He's been on all kinds of primetime soaps. But yeah, that's the thing that comes to mind, his most recent thing. He was also on Dancing with the Stars, yeah?
all of those things, I'm like, don't know. Yeah, not happening. So what you're telling me, let me guess, he's blonde.
No. He's actually French.
Not.
I can't believe you don't know who Jill Marini is.
You can be French and blonde.
Well, you can, but he's an Argent. There are no blonde Argents, as far as we know. Thank God.
Thank goodness.
Anyway, I was really excited for this casting. I can't wait for this flashback episode. Hopefully it is not narrated by Gerard and Deucalion, because they are back in play for this season. So I don't need a rehash or a repeat of that to season 3A. No, thank you.
I need decapitation. That's all I need.
I need decapitations, hearts ripped out, and bodies set on fire. That is the only way that is going to be a cathartic release for me.
I just want them dead and never to come back. I don't care how they do it. Just make sure
it's on your own broadsword, ma'am.
That works for me. As long as it's on screen and the head is in a different place than the body. That's what I need to confirm death.
So yeah, I'm really excited. Also, if you guys haven't seen the clips for this coming episode, with Malia threatening to kick Theo's butt, and believe me, I believe she can do it. It's awesome, and you should check it out over on the official YouTube page. Get those counts up, guys. Come on.
Lilith, now hawking for Teen Wolf PR.
I want to do everything I can do to make sure that, Teen Wolf stays in the eye, because MTV's budget, especially now the Shannara Chronicles, looks so expensive. Yeah. Like, we've got to do everything we can do, guys.
And let's not kid ourselves. The Shannara Chronicles is definitely the number one priority.
Yes, it is an epic fantasy. So, we gotta do our part by making this show profitable. So watch it on the MTV website if you can. Download the app, click the YouTube page, give those videos some views, and rate and review on IMDb. Yeah, I actually said that. Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Every little thing helps to get somebody invested in the show. That's all that I can say.
And all I'm going to say is enjoy it, talk it up, tell why you like it to people who don't. The end.
Exactly. So now for some listener feedback. I know Dawn has been itching to share her favorite tweeters and tweets.
I have to say that one of my favorite parts about Teen Wolf, no lie, is live tweeting. The people who live tweet Teen Wolf always crack me up. They always have witty, fantastic things to say, and this week was no exception. I'm going to start actually with @OSharman, who said, I think that should be on the sign going into town, like, welcome to Beacon Hills. We hope you brought your best weapon. They probably should advertise that. Melissa Ponzio, who, of course, plays Mama McCall, the awesome Mama McCall, who I missed this episode, by the way. She said, no one in Beacon Hills ever says, get the camera. No one will ever believe this. Everyone's like, grab the closest weapon and kill it. And I got to say, that's probably a better plan. And yet nobody ever kills it. All right. Cody Christian, who plays our favorite psycho Theo, said, trust me, I'm with you guys. I hate Theo too. I love when actors can play around with their characters. And please, please, please remember that Cody Christian is not Theo Reagan. So please don't send him death threats.
Everybody's like, well, from when I get on Twitter and Tumblr, everybody loves Theo. They want him to be redeemed. So who's sending Cody death threats?
I do not want Theo to be redeemed. That'd be like redeeming Spike. Oh, what a terrible plan that was.
They turned it around, thank God.
So, Theo, just keep being your own psycho self. I love it. You'll have to die eventually, but hey, you can make it all the way through 5B. Mary Marino said, and it was about the scene where Scott makes Stiles do the symbol. And she's like, Stiles is like, this is the easiest stuff. That's exactly what his face said to me. Dustin Adair is actually the person who I had the most quotes from this week. You can find him at the Night Dusto. That's at the night, as in, not day, and Dusto, Dusto. And he says, Beacon Hills PD, letting teens solve all the murders since forever. It's very true. I mean, come on. And he also said, we're just going to forget that Liam was caught standing in front of a pile of bodies last week? Okay. I had that same thing. At You Think Me Mad said, and this was about Gerard devouring the flour off the floor. Man, that was gross. If someone threw snacks in front of me, I'd react the same. Team Wolf Talk told me, and I 100% agree with this one. Oh, Gerard, it's never a pleasure to see you.
Here comes Gerard.
Yeah. And then we had at Wicked Styles 24, that's at WCKD Styles 24, said, if there's a Canema around, you can be sure it will find Styles. Seriously, how many times has that boy been knocked out with venom?
He's built up immunity because he recovered from it pretty quick.
He certainly did. You were right about that. A Team of Podcasts said, confession, totally forgot about Deaton's existence until now. Don't worry, the writers did too. And Claymores Are Us, which is at Clone Poster, said, Scott can count how many full uninterrupted school days he's had on one hand. Seriously, do these guys ever go to school anymore? I'm sorry?
With 3 fingers left over.
No kidding. The only time we're in school now is to fix the utter devastation that has been caused. Seriously. Let's go to the school and fix the library. All right, no problem.
Beacon Hills is in Detroit.
Something. So those are my favorite tweets of the night. If you are a live tweeter, just shout out to me at Dawn1, at DAHNE1, so that I can put you on my Twitter list so that you could be also showcased on the podcast.
Awesome. I want to bring up my favorite reviews of the week. Of course, TV.com comes in like After Dawn, of course, we all mean. You guys should know that by now. Number one After Dawn is over on TV.com. I absolutely love their Teen Wolf community. I love their recapper. He is hilarious. I often use his photos as some of our episode artwork because the cats are brilliant. I also loved Hypable. And then we also have a new contender who was the Young Folks at theyoungfolks.com. So those are my three favorite reviews for the week. They're funny, they're snarky, and they make some good valid points in very humorous fashion. So please be sure to go and check that out and leave some comments because reviewers love comments.
Very true.
So I guess we can get to the episode now. We are gonna start with the basics. So Damnatio in Memoriae, it's Latin for let me get this exactly right. Condemnation of memory. It is a scholarly term for a punishment whereby the Roman Senate or emperor could erase all traces of a person from the official history of Rome. This extended to seizures of property and removal of statues of the individual. Try doing that now.
Internet wins. Sorry.
Exactly. So yeah, there we go. So the synopsis, the official Teen Wolf synopsis, because they love to be brief and vague. Without the support of his pack, Scott confronts what the Dread Doctor's deadly success means for Beacon Hills. The real synopsis is Hayden and Liam are attacked by a massive shadowy creature, which Scott later identifies as the Doctor's last chimera, although maybe not. Scott and Stiles reconcile, well, sort of, and begin investigating the creature while Theo taunts his new chimera pack. I don't say train. I'm definitely saying taunt and intimidate.
Meanwhile, I think it's the word threaten.
Malia and Braden discover that the Desert Wolf is on her way to Beacon Hills with a hostage, aka Beacon Hills' least favorite animal doctor. Lydia has a dream, or maybe astral projection, I don't know, of Meredith, who teaches her how to be to quote MTV, a badass banshee. One can only hope. Also, Scott and Stiles are confronted by Theo and his pack during a search for the monstrous chimera. Scott finally easily overpowers somebody, which was Tracy, Josh, and Corey. And then Theo goes, "You ain't got to worry about me, bro. We're on the same side for now." So that happened. And then also Chris visits Gerard with a yellow, maybe, wolfsbane. And they talk about the beast and the connection to the Argents. And in another vignette, Kira and her mother are in a remote location in the desert and are confronted by some skinwalkers.
And we're just happy to have him back.
Yes, with her mama. I love it.
Nice to see Mama. Always nice to see Mama. It doesn't matter which one it is.
Dad's driving the getaway car, by the way. He's still in the car. He ain't getting out.
So smart, Dad.
Kick butt, Mom.
Yep. And kick button training, Kira. I did not notice that Dad was in the car. That's awesome.
No, that's just my headcanon for now.
Oh, okay.
I think it was a mother-daughter trip.
Me too, but that's okay. It works either way.
I think it's always a family affair when it comes to Kira and her Kitsune spirit. So.
And that's good because she's the only one that has two parents that are still in the picture. So
exactly. Well, her dad is scholarly too, so I think her mom has the practical application of it. So I think that it's just smart.
Well, they make a great team. There's no doubt about that, and I really do appreciate that they really try to make it so that each parent who is on here has a skill that the kids need. And therefore can't just be superfluous.
Exactly. So, where do we start? Highlights.
All right. Lots of highlights this week. I'm just going to go with the best because that's just easiest. Is there anything better than the Sheriff and Stiles conversation in the morgue?
Yep.
Oh.
Number one for me.
It made my heart overflow. I mean, I actually, when I'm looking at my favorite moments, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 of them are from the scene.
Wow.
I love every single thing about it. I love how when Sheriff first confronts him, Stiles hangs his head and he's playing with his fingers, but then he lifts his head up and he admits to everything. And it's like, oh, it's about time, buddy.
Everybody does the no more secrets dance.
Yes. And then when Sheriff says that he would burn down the station to protect Stiles, I'm like, you go, Daddy, you go. Go, go, go.
Harris is going to beat him to that before the end of the season, I guarantee.
Very true. You know what? The police station is the only building that's been standing for like 6 seasons, so it needs to go down at some point. It's a Beacon Hills rule. And then when Sheriff admits that maybe his attitude in 5A was not the best, like thank goodness. Not because of 5A, but because it sets up 5B to not have that nonsense hanging over our head. I mean, it was fine that he felt that way. It wasn't fine that he felt that way after, 2 seasons of dealing with the supernatural. So, that was just awesome. But probably my absolute favorite part about this scene is when Sheriff admits to Stiles that nothing will ever be the same. He won't feel the same. He's not going to have the same innocence. That this was a major turning point in his life, and it's going to affect him. I love how it was true. They weren't whitewashing it. Obviously it was an accident, but it was traumatic for Stiles, and I like how they're not playing that down. And I also like how his dad gave him hope that even if it will never go away, it will get easier and easier to cope. And his dad being a sheriff and having had to kill things and people and deal with all this death in his job, it made it more powerful and it made it more real because he understood better than anyone else on the show what Stiles is feeling. And I think that it's tremendously helpful that Stiles' dad gets it. And it was just fantastic. Of course, then he also repaired the Scott and Stiles bromance in like 3 words. So just again,
it was basically just do it.
Yes. It's like, Sheriff, can you just come in and fix all the problems, please? Because between you and Mama McCall, you are the words of wisdom, and everybody should listen to you.
Yes, definitely. Those 2 were just the tops in this episode for me. Although it just kind of made me long for some good quality time between Melissa and Scott. So
I do agree with that as well.
Let's see. Hayden leaving Liam, best choice she's ever made.
Well, we have to back up just a little bit on that. Hayden punching Liam in the face twice and then leaving him
while his back is broken.
I'm sorry, I just laughed. I laughed the whole time. I know I'm a horrible person, but I'm like, oh, teen romance.
If only their relationship could stay like that.
I do like how she's like, yeah, well, you pulled me down over a cliff, so I have no sympathy for you. Gotta love this new Hayden. I wish she would stay. Too bad she's gone by the end of the episode.
Yeah,
maybe.
They burned that
Probably
bridge.
not, but maybe. I thought that was fantastic, too. My second number 1 thing is, of course, the bromance is back. I can't state enough
to come back. It's not totally back.
It's back. They're working together. Stiles has been guilted into forgiving Scott. Scott had already forgiven Stiles, so it's back.
He just kind of said, hey, I don't even need to know your side of it. Like, that was kind of a brush off. Like, we got other stuff to deal with. Let's just get over this hump.
I I think Scott is so concerned about getting his pack back that he really, truly doesn't need answers. Now, for me, I need a scene with the two of them together discussing it. Not because I think they need it to get their bromance back, because I think it is back, but because I need Stiles to let it all out. Because in the sheriff scene, Sheriff does all the talking. And that's fine. That's great. But I need Stiles to communicate in his own words what happened, because I think that would be incredibly cathartic for him. And in the same point, I need Scott to understand what Stiles was going through and understand why he was acting the way that he did. And so I think it's a great opportunity for both characters to, one, get some meaty acting scenes going. I mean, both of them need to be challenged, and I think that this would be a good challenge for them. But I also think that it will help to cement the fandom, because much of the fandom is still blaming one side or the other part when both are to blame. Both of them are to blame. And so I think that just having them talk about it, not to hash it out, but to really get it so that they understand the other person's point of view. I think that is tremendously important, not only for the show, not only for the fandom, but for the characters to grow and the actors to grow too.
Yeah, definitely. My next favorite thing is Malia and Brayden team up. There is a negative when we talk about the bad, when we talk about the lowlights, but this, yeah, it's just a little nitpick.
It's funny. It's hilarious. Oh, I just need my girl time, and that gave me some girl time. I agree. I thought that was fantastic, and I love having Brayden back, and I love having Malia have someone she can talk to and trust in this situation, because she has a tendency to isolate herself, and this, I think this is a really good partnership. Not
what
sure
I love
if I
the most?
agree what?
It passed the Bechdel test.
That is
not a boy was mentioned. Not a one.
Well, there is the Russian soldier dude who's male, but
boyfriend stuff.
Right. But yeah, I thought that it was very, very awesome. And the fact that they knew that they weren't going to break him and they just gave him money. I mean, I was rolling with laughter. I'm like, smart people, love it. Oh, all right. For as much as I hate that freaking stupid symbol, I love the fact that Scott and Stiles draw it together. And I like the conversation that leads up to it, where Stiles is listing all the things, all the reasons why the pack is apart. And Scott's just like, yep, and they're our best friends.
Is Liam really their best friend? Isn't he just like an unfortunate inconvenience? Like, really?
Is he that to me? Absolutely 100%. Is he that to Scott? No. For Scott, he's like a brother. Sadly.
They keep telling me that, but I don't buy it for some reason.
I don't know.
Let's see. Okay, like, since I have been on Pretty Little Liars Overdrive, because obviously they just premiered last week, and I just go, the PLL connection in every episode is probably going to be my thing for a while till it burns out of my brain. Shady mental institution with lots of secrets that really needs to be burned to the ground.
Yeah, I think anytime there's a mental institute on TV, that's pretty much the synopsis of it.
Oh, no, I like that Eichen House is kind of, it's better than the Nematon, because at least we can just stroll in to Eichen House when we want to, and we don't have to wander around in the woods. I like all the characters that they're developing. I just hate the negative image that they're giving mental institutions, but it's still got that creepy horror factor when we step into Eichen House, and I definitely like when Teen Wolf does that.
I'll raise you that, and I will give the creepiest of the creepy. Meredith is back.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, crawling from that bathtub. Ooh, that still creeps me out, and I knew it was her from the time I saw her hair. Yep. So, yeah. Oh, but that was incredibly creepy. Well done, shot. good reaction from Lydia. It was just all the way interesting. Doesn't make any logical sense.
Grandmother.
No. That would have made a whole lot more. Well, no, that wouldn't make. None of this makes any sense whatsoever. But hey, at least Lydia's being trained.
We'll take it where we can get it, is what we're saying.
Yep. Oh.
Okay, my favorite character interaction between Sheriff and Stiles.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is a callback. Is that my laptop? Yep. You got my password? I have all your passwords.
That actually made two things in mind. One is the callback part. I agree. I think that was a lot of fun. And I have no idea why Sheriff is surprised by this. Come on.
It's like he knew, but when he got confirmation, he's just like, oh, this boy of mine.
And then Stiles won't give him the computer back and kind of rolls out of his way. It reminded me of when Sheriff pulls on Stiles' chair while he's trying to type everything, and he's trying to get him to go to school. I'm like, oh, this is a great turnabout. All of it was fantastic. Speaking of kind of flashing back to other things, I love Scott's own wall of weird. I was like, aw, he's trying to make his own one. He's got the red string. I'll tell you, red is just like a symbol in Teen Wolf. It's all going to Hades is what red means. But I do love that he has that on there. I thought that was a very sweet tribute. And I love how then they got together so that Scott doesn't have to worry about doing that anymore.
Let's see. Okay, the music was really tolerable, but it was way too much of it. I will say that, like, way too much of it. But the music was actually tolerable. I actually found one song that I could add to my Teen Wolf playlist. It's been a while. Just give Ricky Echo all. Just let him do everything for Teen Wolf. That's all that I'm saying.
I actually liked more of it myself as well. I liked two of it. I wrote down two of them, and I liked two others. So, yeah, I thought it was much better too. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to shock everybody. Hold on to your hearts here, guys.
Oh, is it Liam related?
It is. In this episode, there were 2 points where I actually liked Liam and Mason. 2. That's a record, by the way. By 2. I love Liam Mason's reaction to Screamer coming in. They're just like, I mean, they're talking about how the evil chimeras are, and then all of a sudden Screamer shows up, and they're like stuttering. They're like, hey, Corey. And he's all nonchalant. I'm going to be a go-do-gooder and go help the library. You too? So that made me crack up. And then I also liked when Mason tells Liam to just apologize and tell Scott. I like that he insists on telling Scott because keeping secrets has never been a strong point for any genre show in the history of the world. So to be able to just get this behind us so that we can have the oh so touching reunion and move along.
Desert Showdown Prelude. I was just like, yes, I cannot wait till next week. This is gonna be awesome. Lady Skinwalkers versus Mama and Kira. I'm just like, yes, she worked on her sword. And I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be good. I gotta make sure to have some popcorn.
Oh yeah. I agree 100%. I just think that there's a lot of good story, and most of it's going to the females this season. We've got Desert Wolf, we've got the Skinwalkers. I am excited about both of them. I'm more excited about either of those two than this Labette stuff. So,
and it's all action-oriented for the ladies for the most part.
Yes.
You know, the Desert Wolf might be a shootout. And this guy might get their throat ripped out.
Very true. And, and I'm okay with this. I really am. All right. One of my favorite things about this episode is that Scott, even though he was not feeling well, still wins the fight by being smart. And it's not even really a fight. He just takes him down. And I was like, woo! Alpha Scott! He's back!
Well, you mean he showed up for the first time ever?
I disagree with that, but I do agree with the principle behind that. Yeah, it was just really nice to see him be able to just take him down. Right? And to do it so quickly and without any fuss. And it was like, oh, there's my alpha.
I was really happy to see Chris Argent until, and we'll save the rest of that for the low lights.
Well, in another twist, I will say that I didn't like either of Argent's scenes, which is probably even more shocking than Liam and Mason.
The minute he opened the damn safe, I was like, never mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It just, yeah. I don't know. I will say that I like Theo, but not through most of this episode. I liked him when he reveals himself to Scott with his little B-pack there. And he's just so matter-of-fact about it. He's like, I don't take rejection well. I laughed so hard. And most importantly, I think one of the reasons why I like Theo the best is because he is the only villain on Teen Wolf that has not made one of those freaking villain monologues that are so cheesy. He's just like one-liner snarky. Like, you tell him. I'm with you to the end of 5B, hon.
Actually, I really do like Theo in a psychotic kind of way. I like how he's getting his pack together, and he's being bossy and intimidating, or nice, but thinly veiled nice. And you know, it's I like seeing him corral everybody. I love the manipulation. It keeps that evil creep factor right up there that I love.
Oh yeah,
so much.
I'm good with Theo because he's a smart villain, and he's a smart villain that understands that if you do the same thing as the other villains do, you're not going to get anywhere. So yeah, I'm pro Theo as villain. I'm not pro Theo being redeemed ever for any reason at all. But I am definitely pro him being a big bad again.
I do have a theory about why Theo's doing the things he's doing.
And it's not because he's crazy and power hungry?
Well, he's power hungry. He's Peter 3.0, but but no, like, you know, he's basically going to sacrifice his pet to become that. Well, he's going to try to become, I think Lilbet is like some kind of weird alpha hybrid thingy, and he wants that power, so he's going to sacrifice all the little pawns. He's going to try to.
Doesn't surprise me at all. He needs something from Lilbet.
Yeah.
Or otherwise he just gets out of town. So, I don't know. I don't know. As long as the steampunk scientists stay away, let it play out.
Okay, let's speed this up a little bit. What are some things?
Other things that I liked? I liked Deputy Redshirt going all parent on Hayden. I like Stiles' look when his dad is not in his bed and he gets that panic, where is he? Where's my dad at thing? Loved Malia saying she can't be part of the pack. Hated the rest of that, but loved that part. The Deputy Redshirt's report reminds me an awful lot of when Sheriff questioned Mama McCall's official statement. So I was loving that part. Love everything Scott and Stiles, including Scott's reaction to Stiles showing up and asking for his help. Stiles figuring it out twice, showing that he's really smart. Loved Scott and Stiles moving the locker together. Loved Stiles' face when he got poisoned by Canema Venom again, and that he still was able to warn Scott about Douchey. So, and then, of course, Scott takes him down. I like that Scott's werewolf skills worked enough to know that Screamer was hiding in the sewer, and he basically roars Screamer into, revealing himself. And I adore Scott helping Stiles walk out of the tunnels. So, those are my favorite things about this episode.
Okay, let's get to the lowlights, and I just have to start this off with my number one problem of the episode is Gerard Mountain Ash Argent is back and has a rather large role to play, and to boot, he is healed. What?
Well, that's obviously my number one problem as well, but I'm gonna go farther and say that none of this makes sense again. So actually my biggest problem is logic problems and then Gerard.
Hashtag Teen Wolf fandom problems.
Yeah. But so what they're telling me is that Gerard could have been cured at any time by eating yellow wolfsbane. What the heck? Gerard is rich and powerful and connected to the supernatural world in a way that nobody else on the show is, including Deaton. How is it even possible that he could not get a hold of yellow wolfsbane? I mean, like Psycho Assassin, Teen Assassin got a hold of yellow wolfsbane. What? There is no possible way that this could have been the cure. Unless this is special wolfsbane, which,
I thought it was white when he threw it on the floor, though, so...
I thought it was yellow when they took it out.
When he took it out, and then it looked white when he threw it on the floor, so it's probably just a lighting thing, but I'm pretending like it's not yellow wolfsbane because that's just going to make my brain explode.
Okay. Well, it was definitely yellow when he picked it up in 5A. Or, not 5A, but what was that, 4? Did he pick it up in 4? I want to say he picked it up in 4.
Yeah.
So when he got the wolfsbane, it was yellow. Now, maybe putting it in the safe, which don't even get me started on the problems with that.
Did you not do a second grade project about keeping plants in the dark?
Like, really? Even your UV light in the safe? I'm just not buying this.
Mystical, magical.
Yeah. Now, I can buy that wolfsbane canon is wonky because it's always wonky and it only works the way that the writers want it to work, but I will not buy that this is just regular old yellow wolfsbane and Gerard could not get a hold of it. It's his number one desire. He's rich. He's powerful. He's connected. There is no way on the planet that he couldn't have gotten yellow wolfsbane.
Yeah.
Come on.
I don't know what's going on with that, but... it's a mess.
It's a mess, and no way Gerard should even be living, much less back in this show. I don't care how much he knows about Levette.
Yep.
It's not worth
Chris
it.
should know, too. He should have a bestiary in the history notes somewhere.
And did they not talk about family history? They seem like a family that was really very proud of their family history, and if Kate knows about it, why in the world would Argent not know about it?
Oh, well, it is a matriarchal thing, so maybe not.
And it's true. So then why is Gerard going to be the powerful one here? Apparently,
he just waited for power until his daughter came into power, maybe? Who knows?
Well, it seems to me like, as much as I hate to say it, Kate would be a better... If it's really that the information is passed along the matriarchy, then Kate is a better choice than Gerard. Now, I'm not thinking that it is passed around the matriarchy, and heaven knows I do not want Kate back either. Although I will say, if my choice is Kate and Grandpa Evil, I'm going with Kate.
Well, no, Grandpa Evil, because he has a better chance of being killed off because Jeff Davis doesn't have a crush on.
Man, it's very true. Can we just kill the crush and kill both characters? Kill all 3. That would be my highlight.
Next.
Speaking of killing off all 3, my least favorite people after Gerard were in this order: Liam, Hayden, and Mason.
AKA the wannabe Golden Trio 2.0.
Actually, you know what? Scratch that. Liam, Hayden, Douchey, Mason. So, there we go. By the way, Chimera number 492 is now Douchey Chimera. Douchey for sure.
I just put jumpstart nipples. Which we'll get to.
He's about as annoying as they come, so he can die first.
Okay, so this Teen Wolf had a really, really rocky start for me this episode. The very first scene throws me right out of the episode. Really? You get to have a child ride along with you while you work out in the field as a police officer in Beacon Hills. You might as well have just chained her up in the basement. It would have been safer.
Not to mention, Miss Smarty Pants herself gives the lame excuse that she was with her boyfriend for 3 days.
That's even more cause!
What the heck? What is any of this? And then if we want to throw in another part, Deputy Redshirt goes into the crime scene alone, has no one in Beacon Hills learned anything at all.
He didn't call for backup!
Doesn't call for backup and has her sister in the car. Come on. I'm telling you, Deputy Redshirt went spiraling down for me. Oh, she probably went farther down than any other character in this episode. That was just dumb.
A quick aside, I liked Deputy Redshirt so much more before I knew she was Hayden's sister.
I will agree with that too. Plus, now her name doesn't even fit because she lasted through 5A and they're not killing off Hayden's sister. She's like Hayden's mom. They're not killing off the parents.
So, well, no,
yeah.
I still think that the blonde deputy douche is got some nefarious things going on. He might kill her. He might.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think that I don't know. Just weird. All right. Here's another one that I don't like out of something. Well, no, let's just go with the obvious. I hate all Liam and Hayden's romance scenes. Period. The end.
Underline, red, color, font.
Exclamation mark. Bold print.
Okay, here's a question for you guys. Why is there so much fog in Beacon Hills? Can we just petition to change Beacon Hills to Foggy Bottom Hills, maybe?
Hey, at least it's not raining.
It's coming.
We have not had rain in Beacon Hills all season. It's like
in 2 days in Teen Wolf time.
Very true. I know. Nothing that melodramatic can be happening because it's not raining. I'm sorry. It just can't. It's like
that's why it's instant night all the time, Dawn. It's the fog.
Maybe. Oh, all right. Can we just point out the really terrible CGI in this?
Yeah, okay. I didn't want to be the first one to say it, but Peter's season 1 alpha form was better than this. I said it. Be mad. I don't care.
It's true. You can't argue with that. I mean, it's sad. It's like oh. I mean, he's really, if I knew what French was for bad CGI, that's what I'd be calling this monster.
We're calling it Toothless on Reddit.
Okay. I don't know. It's just terrible. I realize that the Shannara Chronicles has taken up the entire budget for everything on TV. But, this might be a Jaws situation. Which just better to have the music and not see the beast.
More shadow, please.
Works for me. Maybe a claw shot. I don't know, but this was just bad.
Oh, I didn't even want to watch the previews because I was so terrified of how bad it was.
Yeah, it was really, really sad.
Okay, my next thing. Chimera powers seem to work better than the werewolf powers. What the heck? It's called
every time.
Team Chimera.
Every time. Let's just put it this way. Werewolf powers are specifically wonky because they are a plot device. Period. The end.
Odd in a show called Teen Wolf is all that I'm saying. That should be the number one thing that should be nailed down to the ground. Cement around it. Glass tape over it.
I don't know. All right, my next thing has to do with Scott and Malia. I like the Scott and Malia scene, except for 2 things. One, Scott is talking about the stuff between them. There is no stuff between them. They were like the 2 that didn't have stuff between them in 5A. So I don't even know what in the world he was talking about putting the past behind them. They were fine. Malia disappeared. That was pretty much the end of it. They were fine. And then Malia basically flat out tells Scott, her pack leader, that she's going to do something so horrible that he is never going to want to see her again. And Scott goes, okay, and walks away.
Well, he's like, well, I do only have a room for one murder in this pack, so,
It was so completely opposite of his mission and his vow from the last episode. And it's like, really? You're going to let one of your pack members get herself in that kind of trouble and not even know what it's about? Time to ask questions, Scott. It's kind of like Hot Dog last time. If they start telling you this kind of stuff, you have to follow it up.
Blah, 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 dirt bike, vroom, 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 blah, 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 dirt bike.
Oh, I was like, really? Come on. I know we have a lot of filler in this episode, but we could cut out that filler and make this scene something powerful.
Oh, not yet. It's not time. They're gonna get Kira first, and then we're gonna circle back around for Malia. Hopefully, Liam's the very last person they put the pack to put the pack back.
Oh no, he's coming before Kira.
Aww.
Kira's off playing in the desert. Liam's banging on
the next episode.
Yeah, but Liam's banging on the vet hospital that
well,
Scott
he should have went to his
for
house.
6 months. I know.
He didn't really want to find Scott because that was in my notes, by the way.
No, he's just an idiot.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. There are parallels and there are callbacks and then there is Teen Wolf. I am so sick of them shoving the fact that Liam is the new Scott down my throat. Really, Liam and Hayden just had to jump over that chasm, didn't they? They just had to.
Everything Hayden and Liam.
Rehash of Scallison, I am aware.
I actually hope that Hayden is playing Liam. I hope that is Theo's plan for who knows what reason, but I hope she is messing with Liam, because if she's not, they have turned into the most drippy thing on TV. Seriously, just shut up and go away. Please. Please. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. I have zero idea why there is no follow-up to the end of last episode. If it was a flash forward, that's fine, but you still need to follow it up with another flash forward. What the heck happened when, Phoenix Hellhound dude walks in and Theo's just smiling at him, that little smirk? Come on, people.
We're not going to be caught up with the flashbacks in the present timeline until episode 516, so continue to keep being confused and frustrated.
Yeah, but it doesn't make any sense to leave it like that and then not even go back to visit it. You can go back to visit a flash forward that you've already started. So they really...
I'm okay with that.
I don't know.
Because we got Meredith. Like, I'm just going to be real. I'm kind of over Parrish.
Oh, I'm over Parrish, too.
He's not a hell puppy. He's annoying. Predator. Anyway. Okay. I kind of felt like they've done the character of Tracy a disservice. Like, I liked her, and now she's killed her dad, so there's just, like, no chance.
She didn't kill her dad. Well, she killed her dad, but she killed her dad a long time ago.
Well, you know what I mean.
That is not her dad in this episode.
It's not? Who is that, then?
No, it's the random guard who made it out. So, you can see it clearly when Sheriff is at the morgue. You can see his name on the side. So it was not her dad.
Guard? That's even worse, honestly. At least she had a bone to pick with her dad.
Well, I gotta say that's on my list too, and that was the next thing I was gonna bring up. It makes zero sense. I don't know why is Theo there anyway? Doesn't he have better things to do?
That's the master and the Kanema relationship. He's trying to make sure that there's no redemption for her. He wants her completely under his thrall, I guess.
Well, she is. But yeah, so she kills random guard dude. No idea why. And it's like, and then there's no follow-up. It's like, and let's just add on there, douchey's Electro High. What was the point of that filler?
Oh my God. I was like, okay, first of all, you're in public. I know it's like the parking lot of cinema, but it's still public. Normal people probably do just roll by.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. And maybe, people who are actually going in or out of the club. Just saying. Yeah. So none of these.
Theo, what are you doing?
Well, see, and that's my problem, because Theo almost always has purpose, and a lot of this is filler. It's not purposeful, and it, we already know that Theo's a bad guy. We don't need to establish that. We already know that these people are nuts. They were nuts earlier.
Well, he's trying to seduce each and every member by appealing to something to them, I guess. But that was just crazy that they're wide out in public. I mean, I know it's Beacon Hills. Nobody's going to say anything. Everybody's going to self-censor themselves like it's freaking Sunnydale, but still.
Maybe the fog is like...
really thick.
Mind meld. Maybe the fog just wipes their memories.
Maybe the fog is like the fog in that movie.
Yeah.
Tom Welling remake, only watch it. Just not the old one. Anyway, okay. How the hell is Parrish, forgive the pun, back on duty? Agent McCall needs to come back for this level of gross negligence. I'm just saying.
And who exactly is in charge in that office? Sheriff is the only person who's been there for more than 14 days.
Seriously, in Teen Wolf time, that's so true.
I mean, really, it's been about 2 weeks. I don't know.
There's nobody even close to Sheriff's age in that damn department.
In all honesty, Parrish is the next most experienced person in that department.
That's really sad.
Very much so. He might be the oldest, next oldest too. I mean, I don't know. It's just there's some scary stuff going down in that.
Agent McCall
maybe because he's in charge now. Oh, that would be terrible. All right. Can we bring up Mason's awkward talk with Screamer? Really?
Hashtag love story, Dawn. Romeo and Romeo.
No, cringeworthy. I'm tired of everyone's awkward dating talk. Is there anyone on Teen Wolf that has ever, just not bumbled and fumbled over everything?
You know what this is like, don't you, Dawn? The first season of Arrow.
Exactly. So Felicity?
Where she made him go on a double date? And then he was dating a different chick every 3 episodes. This is exactly what it is. Just random romance for the sake of romance without, any
context. It's, in all honesty, Danny wouldn't be this awkward. Bring back Danny. I like Danny. I don't know where he went.
Too bad. Mason's Danny 2.0. Deal with it.
I'm not dealing with it. I miss Danny. He's not an idiot.
Maybe he's the beast. Maybe that's why we haven't seen him.
Well, if Danny's the beast, they better not resurrect it, but they better redeem it. You can do it in, 9.4 seconds? Because that's how long it took for Scott to not be a berserker anymore. Just get some puppy eyes going and say, "Ooh, but you're really a good guy. Stop being this." He'll turn right around.
No, you know what he says? "I like your cologne. Is that Versace?" Good old days. Anyway, sorry. Can we talk about... Okay, so Teen Wolf was really tempting me this week. The first 4 scenes were really grating my nerves. So the 4th scene, they made Scott a complete idiot. He can't even hang string for a murder board. I mean, sure, this scene is rife with symbolism and quite possibly foreshadowing type clues, but it's just ridiculous how they make Scott, who is the main character, come across as just so helpless and useless 75% of the time. Okay, for those of us that know Stiles' murder board string thing, red is for no clue unsolved, and everything was red on his board. Something, Scott. Something.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here. First off, I like that scene a lot. I thought it was cute. 2, Scott is not the brains of the situation. He never has been. And he currently ranks 6th in the pack for brains. I love Scott, but his job is to be the heart of Teen Wolf more than anything else. And then the brawn of Teen Wolf for the parts where heart isn't going to do. But I also will say that in every single season, ever since we found out the colors, everything has been red.
We've seen green string once or twice.
Not this early in the season.
True, but technically it's not this early in the season. I mean, it's a whole cohesive season. So it's really late in the season.
No, it just isn't. Because he's trying to figure out Labette. He's not trying to figure out the steampunk scientists. So, if, I am giving him a really big pass for that. Because in all of this, he's copying Stiles. And in all of Stiles' murder boards, it's been red. Just red. You know what? Quite honestly, Scott might not even know what the meaning is. He's never been on those conversations. But yeah, no, I'm giving Scott a big old pass on this because it's cute. He's not the brains. And red seems to be the predominant color of every murder board they've ever done.
Okay.
All right, for me. Another thing that I really didn't like was the 6 billion times we saw that stupid CGI footage on the video. Product placement is one thing. Shoving that freaking phone in front of us 9 billion times is enough. They have made recapitation into grim quantity here. I already saw that scene. It was sad the first time. Every time I see that CGI, I'm just cringing even more. We don't really need to see it over and over again.
Agreed. I agree. But we didn't have as much Nike, so I mean, I guess I can.
Yeah, I don't think Nike's a sponsor anymore.
I think Converse are, because that's all Theo wears. I think he thinks he's the doctor from Doctor Who. Anyway, okay. Burning question: why is Deaton still alive, and why does the Desert Wolf need a hostage? Just kill him. If he's not going to give us answers, if he's not going to be useful. We all know about the unfortunate incident with Seth Gilliam over the summer. So I mean, just you can use.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
His like 50 UI or whatever.
Oh,
Really bad publicity coming from a con, no less. Kind of the Nicholas Brendan of the fandom of the cast.
Yeah. Okay.
So
did not know that. Okay. Well, I will add another burning question for this. Okay. First off, why is every orderly at Icon House a complete douche? I mean, come on. Is that a job requirement? I think it is. And then
I know the answer to that. It's a hard job that's easy to get.
Okay. Then my big burning question though is when she's in there, she says that Lydia is dangerous. How in the world would this douche orderly know that Lydia is dangerous? Because Lydia hasn't done anything in this present time, and she, came to them catatonic. She didn't do anything dangerous, so it wasn't like she was sent to them from a criminal scene. So what's up with her calling Lydia dangerous? I don't understand. But does she? Why would they be telling everybody that? That doesn't make any sense. And it's not like Lydia is in the basement. If you're going to be telling people about that, that would be the basement crew, not the regular room. So I don't know if it's some kind of foreshadowing and this person's going to be evil or working for the steampunk scientists or whatever, or, I don't know. It just bothers me that she calls Lydia dangerous when all Lydia's done is, stay with her eyes open on her back.
Maybe she's been mentally messing with her or something. I don't know. I mean, we don't know much about Banshee power, so anything's possible.
Yeah, true, but I don't know. It just bothers me.
Okay. How many more blonde people are we gonna have? Honestly, that Deputy Blondie douche is just that was the final straw for me.
That's okay, because I've already, in my recap, decided that he's gonna be dead by week's end, so.
I think he might be the Beast. I think he has a very Matt-like arc, where we just we see a glimpse of him, and then slowly he starts to, come into the fold and gets more screen time, and then boom! Out of nowhere. Big important dude.
But do you honestly think we're ever going to figure out the human part of it? Do you think the Beast can transform back into human? I think that's what they were pretty much saying.
Yeah, because it's the resurrect. What I gather from all of this, and that's why they had the thing in the tank, is that it's a resurrected werewolf, and then they added the most successful parts of the chimera to the goo.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, it felt like they were saying that it is always a beast, that there is no human left in it. So, I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah. I don't have anything else to say negative-wise, except, Theo telling Screamer that he doesn't have to be nice and normal just made me go, oh, really? Just go away.
Don't be evil with us, Corey. Join us.
Shut up, Theo. Shut up, Theo. Just go with what works for you, and this is not what's working for you.
Okay, then it's definitely time to get into the review and episode awards. So, what would you give this as a grade? I'm going to do that first, so I do not forget.
Okay. Oh, I thought you said you were going to give your grade first.
I just meant the grade part.
Okay. I gave it a B+.
Okay.
Not as good as the pilot. They're not pilot, the premiere. It might not have been as good as the pilot either. No, I think it was better than the pilot. But anyway, I thought that it had some really strong bones to it, but I am concerned about this show becoming way too plot segmented. It feels like we've got too much going on at the time, so nothing is going to get full attention. And that was one of the problems that we've been having for a while now. So I think they need to dump part of this stuff into another season and really focus on one main thing.
I gave it a B minus and kind of the same reason. In my notes, this is what it says. I think we had exactly 17 minutes of actual regular plot of what we're trying to achieve and 4 vignettes filling up the rest of it. We had Lydia, we had Malia, we had Chris Archer and Gerard, and we had Lydia and Eichenhaus, and it's just like I think they would just be better to focus on one thing every episode, maybe even one character from a perspective. I think maybe even I don't know what we can do to fix this, but we need to fix it.
I think they just need to have the pack have a common goal. So maybe we shift Desert Wolf off to be the main part of season 6. And maybe we shift Kira's background to be the main part of season 7. And maybe we kill off Gerard and all the excess in this season. And then we can Decalion, Gerard, Team Trio, Theo, Chimera, Steampunk Scientist, Labette. The list is going on and on and on and on, and it's too much. It's kind of like last season we had all that filler. This season, we have way too much going on. So they should have killed off the Steampunk Scientists in the first season, 5A. And then at least we wouldn't have them over our heads. And then, go into maybe Labette for this part. Like I said, we need to have the entire pack focusing on one thing. And currently, we've got so many storylines going on that it's going to come to a point where everything's going to be rushed again, and they're not going to do justice to any of the storylines, and people are going to be frustrated.
I really found it odd because this could have potentially been their last season on top of that. I mean, we found out halfway into writing it, so it's just really odd.
Well, they got a season 6 relatively early.
Yeah, but you know how they write. They're always writing for some reason. Like, it's obvious some people need a break.
Well, I just think that they're trying to cram in too much. This is my personal theory. Ratings have gone down. And my theory is that they're trying everything to figure out what's going to make the ratings go back up. And in doing so, they're just confusing people, and they're making it so that things aren't helping. They've got too many characters. They've got too many what ifs going on. They're writing for Teen Wolf now, but they're also writing for Teen Wolf in a maybe Scott and Stiles don't come back time too. So they're writing for the future, they're writing for now, they're writing for characters that first off we don't really need, and they're writing for characters that if you really truly want to do it, I mean, Malia, take Desert Wolf, okay? The Desert Wolf is Malia's story, but it doesn't have to be. The entire pack can be in on the Desert Wolf. And I think that it would be a stronger story if they were. I mean, you've got maybe Lydia who's, picking up the clues, Stiles picking up clues too. You've got Scott who's trying to prevent her from killing people. You've got everybody who counts. They all could have a role in that storyline. And the fact that they're schlepping it off to the edge isn't doing any good. Kira's whole thing is Kira's story, but it doesn't have to be. I mean, Kira's story worked its way into Stiles' story in 3B. So there's no reason why we can't make Kira's story an entire pack thing. It doesn't always have to revolve around, it doesn't always have to revolve around the Argents. Just doesn't. So
revolved around the Hales, to tell you the truth. But.
And the Hales, yeah, the Argents and the Hales. So it doesn't always have to revolve around Beacon Hills. Bad stuff can come to Beacon Hills. It has before. So I just think that they need to calm down. Save some of their good ideas for later. I mean, if it's true that Jeff was struggling after 3B because he didn't have a break and his storylines were kind of over along the way, he's got lots of story. He's just not taking his time to develop it. And some of that story is really fascinating, and it deserves that time.
Well, I always try to keep this quote that I read in an interview, and I'm really serious. Anybody who's like kind of a diehard fan knows this interview, and what I'm probably about to quote is Jeff says he never thought that it would get this popular or would get this far. So now he's really struggling to make it all coherent, and by doing that, he tries to call back to earlier seasons and earlier villains in this case for the second half of the season.
Yeah.
Just it doesn't seem like it's gonna work, but I kind of try to applaud the effort for trying to tie everything in together. But the canon of this show is just it's been blasted to pieces, bro. Just don't remind me, and I'll forget about it a little bit.
Yeah, and there's zero reason to bring back these characters. I actually don't understand why they are. I don't know why they brought Kate back. I mean, there was no place for Kate last time. There's no place for Deucalion this time. I mean, it's like they're bringing back characters just to bring back characters, and it's what it feels like is they're throwing everything against the wall to see what sticks, and that's a shame because you've got great story. I'm sorry.
They should have brought Jennifer back instead of Deucalion.
Well, they actually killed her off, so at this point, that's like something rare. That's like Yellow Wolf's fame.
She's alive in Peter's heart, Dawn.
Oh, no, that would be Derek's heart, apparently.
I mean, because he basically gave her the finishing what fors.
That could be. Yeah, I don't know. I just think they've got great story, but they have too much of it. They need to back off, pick a story, and see it through. And I think that the heart of Teen Wolf's problems, besides adding in way too many freaking characters, way, way, way too many characters, is that it feels like if they just do one thing, how do I say this? It feels like they're scared to make a point and go with it. Like they're scared that they're not going to have enough, or they're scared that it's not going to be entertaining enough. But I'll tell you what, Voight Stiles was 3B. That's pretty much what it was. So, it worked.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. It was the best season you've had because you stuck with only one thing. And we were able to see it through. You've got actors who can act. Let them act. Let them take the scene and make it a little longer. I'm not saying kill the pacing because that won't work for me. But, if they just went with one thing, I don't think they'd have the trouble that they have now by trying to juggle so many people and so many plots.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about some good stuff in the episode awards. Who or what was your MVP of this episode?
Background music. Not necessarily the music that they flipped at the bottom of the screen telling me who it was and what it was, but the background music, especially when Meredith is rising from the bathtub. They did that super creepy. It was already freaking me out. If I had been in the dark, I'd be like, nope, gotta turn on the lights. So I think the background music was fantastic in this episode.
I think my MVP is gonna be Lyndon Ashby. Absolutely. And back on Team Sheriff. I've been kind of, ever since the Kira thing, it was just like, I know it's plot point is convenient, but I've been a little bitter about it. And I'm like, everybody just needs to listen to Melissa. And so now he's back on the everybody listen to Melissa bandwagon. So,
I have him as the best character by far of the episode. And there's no in between there.
Actually, for me, it's Stiles. I like his pensive, kind of taking it in attitude in this episode. It's better than lashing out physically and verbally at everybody, Stiles.
So. Well, yeah, that is true. Yeah. All right, what's next?
Best character interactions?
Best character interaction, is there anybody but Sheriff and Stiles?
Yep. I agree. And then second place is Stiles and Scott.
Scott, yep. Absolutely. There is no other comparison in this. Nobody comes close to those two, period.
It was nice. We need more.
I like my bromance time. I like my teen parent time.
Best scene?
Best scene, Sheriff and Stiles talk about what happened with Psycho, guilt, forgiveness, and a parent's love.
That's my second favorite scene. My first favorite scene is actually Stiles and Scott talking about what they need to do to get the pack back together. and Scott's just like, they're our best friends.
That is a great line. Just great line.
Speaking of lines, how about what is your favorite? Is it going to be that monologue?
It's the conversation between Sheriff and Scott, not Sheriff Scott, Sheriff Stiles. I'm sorry, I'm trying to pick up my lines, but my lines are actually on another. They're under Last Week in TV and not under this one. All right, so my favorite is, of course, the speech by Sheriff to Stiles. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I have the entire thing transcribed in my review and it makes its own paragraph because for me, that's some of the best writing they've done. That's be your own anchor level writing. So I'm so good with that.
My favorite line of the episode exchange really is between Scott and Stiles, where after he draws the tattoo and he's like, I still hate that tattoo, and Scott's like, I know. It was basically like Han Solo and Leia, I love you. I know.
I have that one on my list too. Simply because it's just fantastic.
And it's a cute callback to when he got the tattoo.
Yeah.
I hate that tattoo. Thank God it healed. Because everybody hates that tattoo.
I thought so, and then I found one person who didn't, and I don't even understand why. Let's see. My next favorite one would be... I'm going to actually give it to Theo. Scott says, What did you do, Theo? Found some new friends. I don't take rejection well. It just makes me laugh every time.
Well, neither did Mike Montgomery. So you have that in common.
Mike who?
Oh, hashtag PLL. Fangirl problem.
Okay. All right, then.
Anyway, do you have any favorite moments?
Lots this time, actually. Let me go back to that page. Flipping back and forth. All right. My absolute favorite moment is Scott and Stiles lifting the locker together. Mostly because it was just so nice to see them working together, and it just reminded me that the bromance was back, and I'm all about the bromance being back.
I totally can see where you're coming from. For me, it is where they decide to bribe the Russian mercenary. Although I did want to see the torture. I did want to see them pull his fingernails out. But I figured he didn't have as hot a bod as Tyler H, so that's probably why we didn't get a torture scene.
And I'm good with that. No torture. We're good.
Little blowtorch. Little taser. Military grade taser.
My next favorite scene is a toss-up between Scott helping Stiles walk out and the two of them making the symbol together.
Okay, so you have any miscellaneous awards? I know you do.
I do. All right. My best awe moment is the Stilinski family hug. That gets me every time. I'm just always really, really there for it. Worst supernatural skill? Or maybe worst supernatural side effect? Banshee nightmares. They're just never good. What is up with that? Lydia gets screwed every time. She's the Sam of this one.
At least she hasn't been choked and thrown against the wall yet.
That is true. Worst Teen Wolf trope? at least for this episode, explaining the episode title. Just don't. We just really don't need that anymore. Duh.
Dawn?
There is no place in the educational universe where that is going to be important for teenagers to know. All right. The Duh Award. Of course Stiles knows your password, Sheriff. Seriously? He knew it before you made it. Come on. Let's see. Best entrance? You would think it's Meredith, but it is not. It is the Skinwalkers.
Yes.
They were just like super cool. So I really like that part too.
That actually got an impression of me too. It's like a way to confuse our audience. I was like, that almost looks like it could have belonged on Shannara Chronicles.
Well, it very much could. That is true. I don't know. Biggest surprise? When did Stiles learn Latin? I don't know. Don't they always go to Lydia for the Latin?
He secretly Googled it in his pocket to impress Scott because they're recording each other.
Oh, okay. So while he's holding the flashlight, he was Googling what it meant?
Yep. He's got that good peripheral vision.
Okay, well, it was nice of the Kanema to, not strike long enough for him to get that information. And those are pretty much my awards.
Cool beans. So that brings us to the conclusion of this podcast. So, we're going to do some shameless plugs and then get out of here. I want to remind you guys to follow us on Twitter at Beacon Hills Pod. We're on Facebook at facebook.com. Welcome to Beacon Hills. Well, / Welcome to Beacon Hills. We have an email, teenwolf.smgpod@gmail.com. We are always grateful for listener feedback, so please be sure to send us some. And please do be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to us on your podcatcher of choice, whether it's iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Lisbon, or whenever Google Music decides to drop its podcast app. I have been patiently waiting as an Android aficionado. What about you, Dawn?
All right. Well, I can best be reached at Twitter. That's at Dawn1. That's at DAHNE1. If you live tweet, please make sure that you let me know so that I can put you on the list and hopefully get you into the podcast. Also, you can find me on my blog, which is dawn1.blogspot.com, and you can find me at Spoiler TV. Every week I do a weekly column about the things that I've watched so far. Also in that column, it's called Last Week in TV. I review something that the listeners, the reviewers, have suggested or nominated for me. So if you have something you think I'd like to watch, then please go and nominate that too. Other than that, basically, you can find me live tweeting and podcasting at SMG Pod. You can find us at southgatemediagroup.com for all your podcasting needs.
Over 80 plus and always growing.
Oh, yeah.
As for me, you guys can find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire. If you are on Tumblr, I know it's starting to suck, but I'm still there, so come check me out. It's lilithhellfire.tumblr.com. And you can check out my writing at one of two places, lilithhellfire.com or popculturepostmortem.com. Comment, like, and share is all that I can say. So until next week.
Take care of each other because, dude, it's Beacon Hills.
Road trip next week. Yay!
Woo! Kira next week. Mama Fox next week. Gotta love it. And, of course, the bromance is still there next week.
If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button. It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.